If you don't watch this video, you're gonna have a very hard time trying to make sure that your songs are in sync, that they're on time, that everything's not delayed, and all sorts of stuff. And you really don't want to have these issues when you're making music, so listen up. Yo, Agwan, hope you're having a great day. In this video, I'm going to be revealing how you can find the tempo of any song or beat or loop in Studio One. Okay, so stay through to the end of this because I'm going to be showing you a variety of different methods. I think I'm going to be showing you 2 different methods, so that's the variety. And yeah, let's get straight into it. If you don't know who I am, I'm Cartere from jcartere.com, teaching you how to be better at music, marketing, and online business. This is the #1 spot for musicians and creators that don't want to be starving artists. So if that sounds like you, click on that subscribe button, check out the rest of the content on the channel because you will love it here, guaranteed. Now, my question of the day is, what is the most common BPM or tempo that you like to work in? Let me know, comment section down below. Now, let's get straight into this, shall we? I have set up a session of Studio One with 3 beats that do have, you know, BPMs already linked to them so we can clearly see what the BPMs are. But for this, let's actually change these to 0. For this, what I'm going to do is we're just going to play through and I'm going to show you how you can find the tempo. Now, there are 2 major ways, and honestly, I'm going to use these 2 ways together to find even more accurate number. But I must warn you, Studio One is not the best DAW to be doing this with. Like, if you can do it with any other DAW, do that. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm going for Studio One, but it's just not great. So let's quickly play through this. And what we want to do is we want to find the transients, so where the drums start hitting, because then it'll be really easy for us to actually sync everything up if we use from when the drums start hitting, because then we can count the beats very well. Okay, so we're not going to go from the beginning. The beginning is where all the melody is, like this is the intro. And you could use that part to find the tempo and to keep everything in time, but it's just making life harder on yourself, so it doesn't make sense. So this would be the start of a new bar. Boom, right there, right here. Over here is the start of a new bar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of most of this. I'm going to bring this over here. I'm going to come right back to the beginning, and I'm going to use the tab button to go to the next transient. Let's tab. There we go. And is this the thing? Oh, yeah. So now we're starting on the 1. Let's just make sure we're really, really in there. Yeah, that's good enough. I mean, it feels like it's starting immediately. I could turn this off and make this just a little bit cleaner and just hit right there. I usually probably wouldn't do something like that, but that does seem like it's perfect now. So really, what I would do here is I would try to create an 8-bar loop, basically. That's what we want to do, or even a 4-bar loop. Where does this go? Okay, that's way too far. So let's create a 4-bar loop. And let's listen back, and it shouldn't be right, okay? Because this is 160 and our tempo is actually at 145. So let's listen back. As you can see, this is where the next bar should be. Like this part where you just heard that. That is where the next bar should start. So this should be on 5. Now, what we can do is we can hold Control and Alt, and we can actually move this to 5. Like so. I mean, it's about 5. Okay, if we go undo and we turn this off, then we should be able to move this a whole lot more freely. And then we can basically see that the tempo gets to 160. Let's do that right there. That should work. And now our tempo is where it needs to be. Now, if I was to hit this and bring this back here, it should just loop very well. And I could copy this over, Control C, and then Control V. And then we just bring that here. Remember, Control and Alt to do the whole time thing. And it will change all the clips. So it will change, if you got this clip, and you know you cut it up and you put it somewhere else, it will change everything that refers back to this clip. So let's play this back. So what we've done is we found where, you know, what the tempo is around 160. Now with this, if I saw 160 0.998, I'd just type 160 because usually people aren't going to be doing 0.998. And then you want to also make the project 160 as well, because as you could hear, because it was 145, it had slowed down everything. So let's play this back. Okay, so pretty straightforward, right? That's one. Now I've brought 3 different beats so that I can show you this in depth and show you another method, okay? So that method was the Control and Alt, you know, basically creating a loop, making the clip fit to the loop, fit within the 4 bars. And then when you see, you know, whatever the BPM is or the tempo, that's when you can right click and you can go into the file tempo and actually change it to where you want it to be. So like I can change it to 160. And that is now the tempo, okay? So this next beat is at 140, but the project is in 160. So let's go and find a transient. So okay, so it's boom boom. I wasn't sure if that was the kick before leading into the new bar or whether I had a double kick at the beginning of the bar. So let's find where we need to be. It's like here. So this is hitting the transient, but it feels like it's just a little bit too late. You know, doesn't matter. We're just going to hit the transient using tab like before. And we're going to bring this back and use this from here on and turn this into a loop. So let's turn this into an 8-bar loop. And what I'm going to do here is, instead of using the method that we used before, I'm going to actually loop this, so loop active. And we're going to loop this 8-bar loop. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap out the tempo. So I do rarely suggest that you use the Control and Alt method because it's just going to get you as close as possible. Like the tapping method is very inaccurate in this. Like it's weak. The FL Studio's tapping method is way better. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if it's just my ability is just weak or it's Studio One, but it just doesn't work out the way I want it to. But in order to do the tapping method, you need to be familiar with how to count beats and bars. Basically, how you do this is you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Generally, because you'll generally be making music in 4/4, which means there are 4 beats and 4 bars. Okay, so let me give you an example. I'll count while this is playing so you can kind of get what's going on. And every time I hit a number is when you want to click on this tempo thing down here. And when you tap on it and you're clicking on it, it will change the tempo. But even before you do that, you want to change this to don't follow, okay? Because if you have it on timestretch or follow or anything like that, then what it's going to do is it will change the tempo of this clip whenever you tap this in, which will then make it impossible for you to actually find the tempo, okay? So let's play this and I'm gonna count it out so you can see where the beats are basically. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So that's how you want to do it. And I'm just going to be tapping down here, and hopefully we can get to 140. Let's see what happens, innit? I'm gonna try and go for like 4 loops, and if we don't get to 140 by then I'm just gonna use the method that I showed you before, and we're gonna use that to get as close as possible, and then I'm gonna change it to where it should be. I'm basically gonna round it up, okay, or round it down. So let's do it. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it actually got to 140. Wow. But as I said, this is, this tapping, usually, like, I've tried it like before I made this video. I tested it out and it wasn't perfect. So this, you just saw it happen perfectly. Take that with a pinch of salt in it. But those are the methods, okay? So dragging to make sure it's right, and then tapping the tempo to change the tempo to the actual loop, okay? So those are your 2 things. That's how you can find the BPM or tempo of any beat, any song, okay? Now we're gonna do it with this last beat, just so you 100% know how this is done. Okay, so about tab it up. I think that is the hit we're looking for. So let's get that. Let's solo this and let's listen back. This actually sounds pretty good at 140, I might make a song with this at 140, but let's do what we have been doing. So we want this to be an 8-bar, and then what I would do at this point, let's just listen back to it. It seems like it's already in because obviously the file tempo is already there. We got to get rid of that. If you change it to don't follow, it will get rid of that as well. But when you're doing Control and Alt, you do want this tempo to be set to time stretch. So let's quickly check this out and see where we're at. Now it's actually back in 170 because I got rid of the file tempo. Okay, just realized I didn't change the file tempo for the previous one. So I'm gonna try and tap this out again and see where we get with that. But that shouldn't make such a big difference that I didn't have it for the previous one. But right here, I want a 4-bar loop, actually, not a 8-bar loop, because it's just easier. So let's listen back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, let's make it 8-bar because otherwise it might not give us enough time to actually tap out the tempo. So let's try this. We're gonna tap the tempo. We're gonna set this to don't follow, and then depending on where we get from there, we might do some time stretching. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So through that, I got to 119, which is close, but not exactly where we want to be. So I feel like if you're gonna do the tap thing, as I said, it's not extremely accurate. If you're gonna do the tap thing, just you want to use it to get around where you want to be. Then you want to change it back to time stretch, and then you want to create your 4-bar loop, and then we can listen back. I mean, it's almost there. You can hear it's almost there, but not quite. So let's actually bring this loop over a little bit so we can hear where the next hit is. We want to move it to 5. So here's the next hit. It's just a little bit further than 5. I'm going to tab to it and then Control Alt, and we're going to move this right to 5. Okay. So I have forgotten exactly what it looked like. So that is it. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to move this to 5. There we go. And as you can see, we're at 116.6. So I would round that up. I mean, it might be difficult times here because it might be 116, it might be 117. You never know. So at that point, I'd probably try 116 and then try 117 and see which one works. Because people generally aren't going to do 0.5 as, you know, whatever they're doing. Like, they're generally not going to do 0.5 as a tempo. So now let's listen back and let's see if it loops properly, because that's what we're aiming for here. We just want it to loop properly. Perfect. So that's how you do it. Basically, I would tap the tempo to get in the area of where the tempo is, and then I would time stretch to get really accurate and really down to where it is and make that a perfect loop through that, as you've seen me go through that process 3 times here, or at least twice. Okay, so that is how you find the BPM and tempo of any song or any beat in Studio One. If you want your vocals to be half mixed before you even get to the mixing stage, you want your songs to sound Spotify ready, then grab my Spotify ready vocal mixing template, links down below for Studio One right now. You'll basically get every setting that I use to make my music, the setup that I use to make all my songs. This is a template that I use, and with this you'll also get a PDF that walks through all the settings. So if you don't use the same plugins that I use, you don't have the same plugins, you can use your own plugins and apply the settings in that PDF to get the same sound. So definitely grab that. It's going to save you a bunch of time and make your songs sound way more professional and have them Spotify ready for the world to listen to. Okay, so go to jcartere.com/vocal templates to grab that. And if you got any questions or any other tutorials you want me to make, please let me know in the comment section down below. In the next video, you'll learn more about music, online business, and online marketing. I'll see you there. Peace out.